What is up? My name is GARRETT Yoker on Twitter, YOOGRTT. Thank you so much for tuning into the Now Notation YouTube channel. Welcome back to, this is a quick one. I just kind of want to have a little thought exercise with y'all. I kind of got inspired by a comment that one of you posted on an old video of mine the other day. Always, if you ever want to just, start up a conversation, hit up the comment section, drop your opinion, drop your thoughts, tell me what you think, and what we'll do is we'll chop it up. And that's exactly what this guy did. His name is Love Juno. He's actually commenting on an old review I did for Jumex's album Lover, all the way back from November of 2019. He just asked me, hey, have you ever heard his old music? It's a lot better in my opinion. Not quality wise, but the vibes are sick. I was like, hey, no, not really. A lot of people actually, he's not the first one to say this. Like, Jumex is such a controversial character from like 2019, 2018 maybe, and it's interesting when people actually like have a fan base that go out of their way to say, hey, don't judge them by what's going on because they have a whole other catalog that's great. Like, he has a vocal fan base, and it's interesting. His music was fine for what it was. A lot of songs are catchy that he does make, but it does fall into that emo rap category where you're just kind of like, okay. But yeah, nevertheless, he sent me over this track, See You in Hell. We'll check that out in a second. But what this really got me thinking about is, so this guy was making music that sounded very particular in a way that it sounded like how you would expect like an 18-year-old making music in their bedroom would. And then at some point he gets signed to a label by the name of Cortan Records, and then all of a sudden he has a face tattoo. His music sounds completely different. There's a fat music video budget to this thing with Taco from Odd Future directing. It goes on to fucking songs with Travis Barker. The industry push that was occurring in this guy's career was so fucking interesting, and it could not be denied by anybody. Like, anybody who was paying attention, you knew that this guy just was at the top of everybody's list. They threw him at the fucking genius thing. They tried to get him articles or interviews anywhere they could. Whoever was pushing this guy was doing a good job publicity wise and marketing wise. But when you look at what they were looking at as far as like what they were looking at as far as what this kid's music sounded like prior to that, that's when you start scratching your head. That's when you really start scratching your head. Because, I mean, his music was, more, this Trapped was really the first video. That's the one by Taco that I just mentioned, with 8.6 million views. It's a little over a year ago, but it says a year ago. He has other ones with 2 million. He put out 2 EPs. His most recent 2 tracks are XO, and he did this song with a DJ, I think Kago. But either way, what this is, what most people know Jumex for, does not really reminisce much of what it kind of was from what I have seen. And if you just take a listen to just a few of these songs, you'll ask yourself, what the fuck happened? Like, who is this guy that we see in these other videos that are all fucking popular since Post is shining? But how did you pick him out? How did you pick this guy out off of this?
Black Lung.
The girl with long hair, hide me from the demons, lock myself over there. Hide me from myself, I'm the devil, don't care. No.
So he used to go by Lil Jumex, and it's just, I guess it's not to like shit on the guy's music. I'm not trying to do that, but you can definitely hear in all of these examples that this music, while it is in that sad
How could you love me when
style,
you never see
the
me?
amount of
My heart filled with sadness.
that all his tracks since being signed have shown, like the poppy aesthetic or the poppy push and flair that they just added to this very raw,
My body is
uncut
freezing, you
kind of
know
style.
I'm very deep. I'll pass the time by
That's
smoking weed.
completely
How could you love me?
100% drawn to the label, and it's it's just interesting that they can pick anybody pretty much out of the internet. All agree that this isn't the only example of a diamond in the rough artist on the internet. Like, he's not the last artist. So for you to look at people who actually do sing really fucking well without any fucking effects, the people who can rap their fucking ass off, but you look past them and look at this green-haired guy who can kind of rap and kind of make music, it's just comical to me. It's just hilarious when you jump from what that was to what this is, which is the debut fucking component in most of his new music since getting signed. And it's not to say that an artist can't be switched up. It's not to say that they can't try new styles. It's not to discourage anyone from fucking being creative. But it's just funny that once you see a fucking man in a suit cut a check and a whole fucking backing by a label, what it does to just the idea of an artist, of what they are. And I think we could all agree this music probably sounds better, and it does. That's not to disagree with it. So in the end, it's a good thing, I guess. If you're just looking at, did he make better music? Sure, I guess. But it's so interesting how they can just pick the most random fucking people off of the most random aesthetic, off the most random viral video, or off the most like small basis of talent, I guess. It's just weird because there's so many people who just freestyle their ass off all day on Instagram, all day on YouTube, and I just don't see them getting that same look ever. And I feel like that money could maybe be used better elsewhere. But no, we live in a world where TikTok basically decides what the fuck is the next top person to sign. And it's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. But again, no hate to Jumex. Congrats on all your success. Very cool. But we should also look at where the fuck have you been, dude? Where the fuck have you been? Because when you look at your fucking iTunes, like Apple Music, your most recent song is... Well, this is funny. It says it's the song El Sexy en Cuatro. And I was like, oh shit, he's going into reggaeton. But I think we can all agree that sounds so fucking unlike anything else that if that's your next fucking direction, that's even funnier and only proves my point even more. Reggaeton has a fat market. So if you're a label and you want to make an artist do some reggaeton tracks to make an extra little bag, look at 6ix9ine, it works. But if that's what Jumex was doing, that's funny. But I think what's more likely is this is just a mismanagement of whose song this actually is. There must be some reggaeton artist named Jumex, and it just got confused and filtered this way. But that just also shows that maybe your label doesn't really care because they haven't noticed yet. I don't know. Or that is you, and fucking even funnier. I want it to be you, dude. But the other one is the song Breakable. It's with Keizo and Jumex. It's a very, very... techno track collab with someone screaming over it, kind of like, it's fine. And then XOXO is it's with Lil Xan, and it came out back in February of this year. And this song is actually pretty catchy and pretty cool, but Lil Xan isn't really doing much either. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing with the trajectory of Jumex right now. Like, where the fuck is he? Well, he's trying to figure out what the fuck his next move is, and I think his label's trying to figure it out as well. But he's only 20, so in a lot of ways, this isn't the end of the world. This isn't the end of it. But Cortan Records, they only really have one other artist, and I was looking at it. It's Jumex, and then they got this guy named Juto, and Juto actually makes pretty cool music. He's a singer, like R&B style, but the visuals that he's been putting out is fucking cool. So Cortan Records, for them to take Jumex from this and then put it into this, it's impressive. And I think overall, as far as are you getting a more polished product? Yes. But is this like morally and ethically, making any sense when you really get down to the brass tacks of musicians and making music and talent? No, it doesn't. And social media is just such a funny thing to do to artists, and just I want to actually continue to do this type of video, and I want you guys to comment actually in the comment section below. What are some artists that you were a fan of before the label got involved and their music completely changed, the image completely changed? And we'll take a look and we'll find some old ones, those old tracks that either exist on SoundCloud. We'll compare it to since then, and we'll see how their actual trajectory as an artist is going, because I'm not seeing much trajectory from Mr. Jumex in 2020, and 2020's been a weird year for everybody, but I don't think him bouncing back is something that I'm going to be seeing, and I don't really think he's going to be someone that we're going to remember in a few years. So, at least he got a bag, at least the label did what they did, but it is funny that you're going to look at this and be like, yep, this is the guy, this is him, let's go, and whatever. Oh well, fuck it. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below. What did you think? Do you like Jumex? Are you a big fan? Do you hate me? Am I talking shit? I apologize. I just had to get this off my chest and kind of just get a little thinking exercise of what the fuck is the labels doing and how do they find these people? And it's just funny. It's just funny because it usually doesn't pan out other than for a quick check. But I do feel bad for the artists who are just trying to make music and put out a thing that comes from their hearts, because I think that's where most, you would think, people kind of start with, like, writing music or writing lyrics, is it comes from a certain place. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below. If you want to follow me on Twitter, go ahead at Yogurt, YOGRTT. Instagram as well. Now Notation on those two platforms as well. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much again. That is all, you beautiful folks.